am forced to be a bit of a minimalist. I don't have too many clothes, I don't have too much of anything, and you really like cherish the things that you have, and you kind of have to have that rule of like one thing in, one thing out. So I'm really enjoying that, and everywhere you go you have all your things. It's a 2006 Ford E350 Cutaway. It was an emergency response vehicle for the US Navy, and then I bought it from a plumber in Calgary. My dad and I did the conversion. We just tore everything down to its bare bones and rebuilt it. Purchased the vehicle for $10,000, just over, and then converting it cost another 10 grand. We converted this over 7 months, ripped everything out, and built my dream tiny home. So my kitchen, I've got like tons of storage, I find. So these drawers are awesome, and of course I've got the latches so nothing flies out. This is my bar/coffee nook that I love so much. These are actually the first things I bought for the van, way before I knew what vehicle I was getting. I've got all my van life staples in here. There's rice and steel cutouts, beans, and popcorn. Popcorn is very important. More storage up here. It's just all like my paperwork and that kind of thing, which is super handy. And then these cupboards, they were actually part of the original ambulance. We tried to reuse as much of like the hardware and different pieces as possible. So I just covered them with some peel and stick wallpaper, and that's my pantry. In retrospect, I highly recommend going with this style of cabinet because, as you can see, you can only access one tiny portion at a time, so it can become just a bit of a shove-it drawer. But it definitely keeps everything in place, so that's great. The counters actually is a lovely gentleman that my dad curls with who donated the lumber, and so my dad and I made the counter out of that. I do have a full oven essentially, so I can do my bread baking, of course, my sourdough baking, and 2 burners for the propane, which I love. I have a massive sink. I love having access where I can actually close it off and still have that counter space, which is really good. As far as water, this is all I use. So my Berkey filter is basically my running water, and anything that I need to heat, I'll just heat it on the stove. But it works great, and yeah, I don't miss having a like running water in any way. There's my garbage and kitchen scraps, and yeah, just a 26-liter tank for my gray water. I've got the static bed here that I absolutely love with like 5-inch memory foam. It's super comfortable. And underneath, I've got my Dometic fridge, which also doubles as a seat for guests. So I can have 2 people around the table. This is a table that my dad and I built together of like my mom's old wood carving materials, and yeah, I've just glued it all together, and it's got lots of sort of memories inside it, and I think it's beautiful. I'm so happy with how it turned out. My sister actually was involved too. She did all of the leather pulls for me, so all these little cute leather things. And my mom actually did the cushions, so it was really like a family affair getting that all done. This is my Cubic Mini. It's the Cub. It's the smallest version, and it is awesome. I definitely gave up some stealthiness because there is a stovepipe, so everybody recognizes this as a home now. But because it keeps everything really dry and smoking hot when it's cold, I just love my stove so much. So it's still a great decision. Here's where I keep all the wood for the Cubic Mini, and I actually use these compressed logs, which are awesome. They're called Bioflame. It's made from wood scraps out of Chemainus, like on Vancouver Island. So it burns for a good few hours, and I don't have to worry about foraging wood or getting it into tiny pieces. I just keep my plates up here. This is kind of all I have. All my cleaning supplies are just in here. I do have access to the cab if I need to get a quick getaway in the middle of the night. I can just hop through these doors. I discovered van life because I was listening to a podcast on baking, because I decided to totally shift careers and wanted to become a artisan bread baker. So I was listening to the Rise Up podcast, and he was interviewing a lady that built a van, and with her husband she traveled the States learning from different bakers. That's why I decided to get rid of my condo and 90% of my belongings and build this van. My original plan was to travel all through the States and Canada and learn from different bakers. But since there's been lockdowns and I can't work in any bakeries right now, I've been doing audio production, because I used to work at a radio station in marketing, and so I geared out the van with some audio equipment, a little sound booth. So it's a mobile recording studio, and companies will hire me to do audiobooks or promotional videos or presentations. So I want to work with like companies that are focused on social impact and sustainability. I've gotten back to doing a lot of writing. I discovered an incredible publication, and I've been volunteering with them. It does take a heck of a lot more time just like dealing with life things. Like I find preparing food, or you have to filter your water, there's just like, you're way more in touch with the business of living. So a lot of your time is spent just doing that, I guess. So this is my closet / waterless closet. I have, just jackets and like exercise stuff, just random things. Yeah, so my under the bed storage, I've got a little shelf for just random things. And then I've got my water tank, one water tank in here. And then this is actually my sound booth, the rest of my sound booth. So this is my bookshelf. I absolutely love, because it fits everything I need and nothing has fallen out yet. I've got my little bread shrine here with my starter, the starter food, and my favorite food and bread recipe books over here. I had to cull down my book collection. I kept about 5% maybe. I've got more storage up here. And this reading light actually was from the ambulance originally, which I love just having that on at night. The fan is also from the original ambulance. And another cabinet here. I guess there's just another hidey hole on my bench. And that's mostly actually my music books and just random stuff I don't access very often. So everybody's always interested in what's behind this door, even though they've been inside. My closet is on the other side, so there's really nothing behind here. But my truck batteries are. I've got, very important and has already come in handy, my spare tire and emergency kit. My solar shower is here, some more acoustic treatments. Again, this is so I can boost my truck if I need to. Over here I've got my dual propane tank system, my spare water jug, lots of tools. This is where all the power happens. I've got the 400 watts of solar on the roof and the 210 amp hour batteries, and I can charge them by solar obviously, but if there's not enough, I have an isolator switch so I can drive around and charge my batteries that way, or just plug into shore power. I've always been, I think, like sustainability minded, but this just forces you to be in touch with it every single day. You have to be super aware of the resources you're consuming, and you have to deal with all the waste, like whether it's recycling or my kitchen scraps. I have a very limited supply of water, and so I have to come up with like creative ways to use it. I really like being forced to be conscious about that. There's even a website that I use called Share Waste. Like as I'm traveling, I'll find people with compost piles and give my kitchen scraps to them. So I haven't actually had to throw out kitchen scraps yet, which is really cool. So I have 400 watts of solar and about 210 amp hour batteries, I think. And it's not enough when you're trying to do online work. And when I was in the summer in Alberta, like there's so much sunshine, it was no problem. But winter is tough if you don't have somewhere to plug in. For a solo female traveler, like there's places where I feel like you have to limit your experience just to be safe. And that's disappointing. On the other hand, like I have total freedom. I can go wherever I want to go. I can eat whatever I want to eat. I don't have to compromise with, you know, someone else's schedule. So those are great things. It's almost mind-blowing. It feels like a completely different life because I'm doing the work online and I can just do the voiceover stuff on my own schedule. Like I'll often record at night so I can spend the day at the beach, writing or doing yoga or walking, whatever, doing hikes. Pretty much my days are mine. So living in the van, I can be where I want to be and do the things that I want to do and spend time outside.
Please share this video if you liked it. Also, be sure to subscribe to Exploring Alternatives and check out our playlists for more stories like this. Thanks for watching.